Welcome to The Snack, a lighter serving of Girls Gotta Eat.
This is a Dear Media production.
Enjoy.
Hi, guys. Okay.
Hi. You caught me off guard. I was just saying, I was greeting you.
This is really weird. So if you guys are watching, Ashley's outside. This is the first time I've ever seen you record outside. And this is the first time I've ever recorded with such an official radio mic and giant headphones.
Yeah, no, that I just am realizing what I'm seeing. I'm in the elements. I'm in the yard, and you have never worn headphones like that. You're out here just like a NBA player on game day, Beats by Dre, over-ear headphones. Never seen them.
I know. I feel like so official. So Jeremy, my good friend, he Ubered me a microphone and headphones because I'm in New York, so I don't have anything, and it's really official. It's a little too official, if I'm honest.
I like the vibes.
I feel sexy.
You got a lot going on your ears. Like it's really brave to wear a hat and headphones. Like I have sensitive ears. I can't do that.
I feel that in New York, I was walking around with a hat and sunglasses this morning because I was crying on the street. You know, I love to cry in New York City. There's no place I love to cry outdoors more than New York City.
It's still the only place in the world where you can cry and dry hump in public and no one turns
looks.
An eye. Yeah.
No one cares at all. It is also,
Yeah.
I just want to say, and that we can move on from Halloween. I lived in New York my entire life. I've never seen a Halloween decoration in New York City, not one time, not ever. People do not have space for Halloween decorations in New York City. No one's keeping skeletons year round.
Wait, like in restaurants?
No, I mean on the houses. Did you? It is wall-to-wall Halloween decorations in New York City. There are skeletons every inch of this city. I've never seen anything like it. And I put on my Instagram story yesterday, those 3 bodies hanging off of that building. It was insane.
No, Raina, I think this is personal to you and where you used to live because people have always been rolling like this. Like I used to go up to this house and like welcome trick-or-treaters with this girl that used to host it on like the Upper East Side. West Village has always been decor. Like you and I were just living in the East Village where it's all college kids who don't give a fuck or don't have any money or whatever.
So Melanie said that to me too. Melanie was like, because you don't hang out in the rich neighborhoods. And she was like, rich people have all the space in the world.
Yeah.
And I didn't live on the West Side.
Exactly. So it's been there. We just weren't privileged enough to experience it, but I have just felt like in general a lot of Halloween decor this year. It does feel like it's like on steroids. Like people are getting way more into spooky season. I love to see it.
It's crazy. I mean, there are like 15 skeletons outside of a lot of houses in New York. I'll send you pictures.
Why would you not decorate? Like, so you're out here, you're about to buy a house, which we're like so wonderful. It's so exciting. We're so proud, everything. But I had posted a couple weeks ago, I walked by this house in my neighborhood in LA and it was a full Beetlejuice front yard. Like it was like a full-size Beetlejuice. It had all this decor. And I was like, this is what I would do day one of buying a home, whether it was Halloween or not. Like, I would be so into Halloween decorations. So I want to ask you, do you think you would do that?
I don't know, but I was excited to tell you this. I think I'm going to have my first Christmas tree this year. And I'm so excited because I'm Jewish and Jews don't have Christmas trees.
Right.
Jews don't do that.
Guys, Raina's converting to Christianity this year.
I think it's delightful and festive, and I already picked out where I want to put it in the house, and I've never had it, and I'm going to get decorations, and I feel that I could really decorate the shit out of a Christmas tree, and I'm very excited.
Yes. So you do have these like 2 living rooms. The house is stunning. You guys are going to die when you see it. I don't know. Maybe you'll do a home tour. Maybe you won't.
No, we have a lot of reels coming, you guys.
Okay.
I do.
Raina's going to be on her content game. You could do a Christmas room. You could make one of those living rooms the Christmas room. Like, why not? The one with the fireplace, just fucking holiday it out.
That's the one. I'm going to have the stockings.
Yeah, stockings. One for Azul. Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to be there. And then our other friend who bought a house, you mentioned her on the episode. Like, they're engaged, her and her fiance, and they have like a massive, like, I don't know, 20, 30, I don't know what feet are, ceiling. So they're going to do like a giant Christmas tree. You could too. You have like a high ceiling.
I'm going to. So my first Christmas tree this year. Stay tuned. I got tons of reels coming about the house, the renovation. So hopefully the house is renovated and I'm moved in by then.
So anyway, guys, holiday decor, all holidays is on steroids this year. So get into it. You snooze, you lose. Okay, let's thank our partners.
Thanks to Shopify, get a $1 a month trial period at shopify.com/GGE, and BetterHelp, get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/GGE.
And thanks to Beam, get up to 40% off at shopbeam.com/GGE with code GGE. Okay, before we get into our reports, multiple reports for the day, we do need to say where we're coming from. So I am holding it down in Delaware. I am on the ground here in the president's home state. I sometimes forget
10 toes down.
Sometimes forget he's the president still. I haven't seen him in a minute. But I'm here. He might be here. He might be here. Recovering from COVID again.
I feel like he retired whatever day they announced that Kamala was running. And that's it.
He passed the buck quick. No, so I am here in Rehoboth, Delaware, my brother's house, and my brother's this great office, but he's in the office, and I didn't want to be in the bedroom because the 2 kids are upstairs sleeping, so I'm out here in the wild.
That's crazy.
My sister-in-law helped me set up out here. We got an umbrella. We're trying our best. So
that is crazy.
Stay tuned if anyone starts mowing their lawn. I'll fucking lose my mind. But where are you reporting from, Raina?
Well, obviously I'm in New York City. I'm repping the Yankees cap. That's where I am. I'm in New York without you. I'm going to be here for 2 weeks. It's crazy.
Yeah. I was there, and then I'm doing week 2 abroad in Delaware, and you went back to New York.
I have less plans now that you're not here. Take it easy.
We did a lot. Yeah. Okay, we're going to kick it off with the chicken report.
Why is it so funny?
And this comes inspired from Tessa's text to us like an hour ago, being like, you guys, what is the difference between Brianna Chickenfry and Chicken Shop Date? And we were like, honestly, fair question. Is that what you asked Tessa? Basically, she was confused on Brianna Chickenfry because Chicken Shop Girl is in the news. So, Tessa, do you feel caught up?
I thought they were the same person, so I was very confused on why both news stories were not, like, converging and why they weren't bigger deals until Raina sent a picture of Chicken Fry Girl.
Well, that would be crazy if Brianna Chickenfry was the one that did the date with Andrew Garfield coming off her potential
That's why they broke up.
I know. I was like, this was hot tea. Why is this not being covered?
Well, after really weeks of speculation about Brianna Chickenfry and Zach Bryan, he confirmed the breakup. He posted something.
Wait, he did?
Yeah, he confirmed the breakup today.
Wait, I thought we were just speculating.
Oh, no, sis. He posted. I'll read it to you.
In the last hour?
In the last hour.
Okay, I've been
in the
prepping.
last hour. Piping hot tea.
I've been getting my outdoor office set up, so I wasn't paying attention.
No, so to be honest, so I set the article that you originally read this morning said speculation, and then he confirmed.
Oh no!
So this is
so we're not like happy about this. Like we think she's great, and if you guys don't know who she is, I mean, she kind of rose to fame from Barstool. She has a podcast on Barstool. She got the original Hawk Tuah Girl interview. Am I right?
Yes.
And then Zach Bryan is Zach Bryan, famed country singer. But
they've been together for a year, and I really loved their love. I love their photos together. They seem so happy and obsessed with each other. I mean, them and Kat and Jason really made me believe in love.
Yeah. You still have me.
I do have you, and you and Sparkle Eyes better never break up, because then I'll never believe in love again.
I mean, you would never see me again. I would just fall off the You never see either of us. We would kill each other. Okay.
Me and Tessa would just host the podcast together from now on. Yeah. I feel like I'd be the Daily Show, and I would interview hosts every single week to see who could take your place. No, I would never. No,
you would thrive. I mean, once you got past the trauma, you would thrive.
Yeah,
I'm acting like I'm dying. But I guess it is what I said. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah. You did say you were going to die. Anyways, Zach Bryan, he did confirm. He put it on his story, and it was vague enough, but he said, we respect and love each other. I love her unconditionally. I've had an incredibly hard year personally, struggled through some pretty severe things. I thought it would be beneficial for us both to go our separate ways. I am not perfect. I never will be. Please respect Brianna. With everything I am to anyone I let down, I am sorry. I try my best in everything. I failed people that love me, and mostly myself. I don't know. So it's cryptic. I mean, assuming he's taking responsibility for the breakup, people have speculated that he's cheated in the past. She, as of now, has not confirmed or denied anything. So he's taking responsibility, saying, I love her. This is over, though. I've had a hard year.
Maybe it was all downhill after the Taylor Swift tweet.
I mean, it didn't help.
You never know.
Well, she did respond. She posted, as of this recording, I'm feeling really blindsided right now. I'm going to hop off social media for a while, attempt to heal privately. While I'm ready, I'll be back and ready to talk. Love you guys so much. Thank you for your kind words. Remember, you are so loved, and everything's always going to be okay.
Aww. Well, there you go. blindsided her, or in her words, he did this.
Or maybe announcing this also blindsided her. I think a lot of couples are just like, we would like to at least honor our relationship by having some type of mutual statement, and that's sort of not what happened. But I mean, he didn't say anything unkind about her, but Lord knows what really happened.
Who knows? You never know.
Never know.
Okay, well, one relationship ends and another begins when it comes to the chicken update. So let's talk about the chicken shop date.
Andrew Garfield, I love him so much. He's the star of The Social Network, one of my favorite movies.
God, that's funny. He's Spider-Man to me.
Oh my God.
Right? Yeah, that's a
Spider-Man.
That was very how millennial of you.
The Social Network is like a top 10, maybe top 5 desert island movie for me.
Yeah, okay.
Anyways,
I think of him as Spider-Man, and I'm not even, I'm not like a comic book girly, but he's my favorite, even though I have no others to name. But
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah. There is that. Look at you go. Okay.
I'm a comic book girly. Big X-Man fan. Okay, anyways, go for it.
So he did this interview with Amelia de Moldenberg. She's a British comedian, and she just does these chicken shop dates with celebrities. They're about 10 minutes on YouTube. It's her YouTube series. And I saw she's had Paul Mezcal, she's had different celebrities. And she prior had 2 like kind of flirty, cute interactions with Andrew Garfield, like on a red carpet, things like that. And so people were noticing and like wanted her to have him on. So sounds like some people were shipping them. And then she was like, okay, well, I'm going to have him on the chicken shop date. So basically she just goes to like a chicken shop. The way they're shot is very funny because they'll just be like random B-roll cuts in the chicken shop of like a fryer, of like an employee, of like a sign. It's just, I'd never watched one before. And so it's like an interesting watch. And then they're just like having a date. And I don't know if she typically like, I think she's in character, right? That's like the vibe is she's like on an awkward date. That's kind of like her character. She's not so awkward. She's not like between 2 ferns, but it's not, I don't know. I was like, does she typically prep a lot of questions? Like that wasn't the vibe. It was very just natural. Her and Andrew flirting for 11 minutes. I was like, this is my favorite rom-com. Like between Nobody Wants This and this 11-minute YouTube, rom-coms are back. Good rom-coms are back.
So I told you about this. I'm like, you see, you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, just watch it. And you were like, can you explain it to me? And I was like, no, just watch it. It's so delightful. Like if you give it like 2 minutes, you'll give it all 11.
I needed 30 seconds, yeah.
I mean, I feel like the news lately has been kind of heavy, and this is just like a really delightful, wonderful thing to watch. They're so cute together. He's like, I'm flirting with you. And she was like, he said something like, can I have your number? And she's like, I've given it to you. You literally have it.
You've asked for it before.
Yeah.
So it's very cute, and they clearly have a connection. And like, of course, we want to believe like he's smitten, but he's an actor. Like I saw one comment on YouTube. The comment section is lit on YouTube. Very funny stuff. Like just really positive as far as I could see. And this one comment said, my head, they're performers. My heart, they're soulmates. And I was like, that's how I feel because I'm wrestling back and forth with like, he's an amazing actor, and she's clearly like a performer and she's in character too. But you want to believe that they like have this cute thing. I really enjoyed it.
I mean, you watch it and you're like, why aren't more interviews like this? But then you're like, oh, right, because like men would come off like a creep if they were like coming on to the person that was interviewing them. But this feels very mutual and cute, back and forth bantery, and she likes it, and he's being like a little tepid, and so it's so delightful to watch.
It really was. I mean, if you can essentially watch someone get together for the first time, like some people are calling it like a soft launch. Obviously, they're not dating as far as we know. But when you get to watch people connect like that who end up dating, I mean, what a privilege. I think of Serena Kerrigan, who we had on our show, and she did her now boyfriend's podcast, and like that's how they got together. And she's certainly not the first one. I know there's like other stories out there like that, but it's like if you have a real couple and they really end up dating, they end up being together, getting married, whatever, and you can watch or listen back that first interaction, it's really special. You got it on record.
You know what it reminds me of is my last relationship. We met recording a podcast.
Sorry, also Raina and her ex. That's what I was trying to think.
Well, the episode is so funny because he's talking about being kind of like he was married before me and how he was like getting into the dating game again and how to talk to girls on dating apps and how to take sexy pics. And I'm explaining to him in the episode how to talk to girls and take sexy pics and like what kind
Iconic.
And I was like explaining to him like the gray sweatpants. And it's just, it's very cute to like watch yourself flirt with somebody for the first time.
Yes. I did this thing during COVID and like, I'm not gonna like be too detailed about it, but like I did this like, we were all doing like lives with people, like we did stuff with Matthew Hussey. We were doing in quarantine. We were doing all that kind of stuff. And like I did one with this guy. He was just interviewing different people and it was so flirty. We ended up getting together on a like real life, like coffee date, I guess, back when we came back to the city. And we weren't a match, but like people got to watch this. People were messaging me like, what did I just watch? Like, and people are commenting in real time and they're like, is this, you guys don't know each other? Like people are like losing their minds. So it was just like, it would have been a pretty strong meet cute, but it didn't work out. But it was really like super genuinely hot and heavy flirty on that Instagram live.
It's amazing to watch. You're like, are these people about to fuck? Am I witnessing two people that are about to fuck? This is crazy.
I have to tell you, like, I watched that whole thing, and I'm so sick of not having a British accent and being surrounded by people that have them. I'm sick of it right now. Like, there was that time when I was just watching and consuming so much British TV, books, pop culture, whatever. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of my voice. I'm sick of your voice. I'm sick of my fiance's voice. I'm sick of everybody not having an accent. I'm so fucking bored. Every time I watch something like this, I'm jealous. So
that's why we liked Love is Blind UK. I mean, we were in love with all of them.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was Love is Blind. There was like a book I was, or whatever. Oh, the Dolly Alderton book. Yeah. So I really loved watching it. It was just like made me happy. And I wanted to ask you, like, if you were doing that series, where would you take people?
Oh my God, that's such a good question. So to me, it would just be like, I would probably pick a price point. So it would be like under $20 meals. So I would go to like Tompkins Square Bagels in New York. I'd go to Xi'an Famous Noodles. I would go to like my favorite sandwich shop, which is Fico's. Like I would do like meals under 20 in like a cool place where you could get something like casual and just like sit on a stoop.
I like that.
What would you do?
Stoop. I don't know. I was trying to think, like, food aside, would I take someone to like a dog shelter and just be like, play with these dogs. Let's play with these dogs. You pick your favorites, rank them. Which one would you take home? Or like something like take someone to like a graveyard. Like do something really like different.
Really, those are two very different ideas. Okay, the dog thing was delightful, and then you went graveyard.
It's spooky season.
It's spooky,
I can't help myself. I thought you might say like a sandwich, like bodega or something like that. I don't know. I also, what I like? What would be fun is take people to like gas stations. You know what? Wawa. Final answer.
Oh, what's your Wawa sandwich order?
And then, or your sandwich order, or also your road trip snacks. To like pick out your top 3 road trip snacks would be.
I love this idea. And playlists. You're so obsessed with music. Like, what's your playlist? What's your road trip snack? What's your Wawa order?
We have our YouTube series we'll never do figured out. So
we could actually use more stuff to do. We're not busy enough.
That's our chicken report. And I just wanted to give a quick sports report. I feel like there's a lot of sports stuff, and we're in the thick of sports seasons.
Thick of sports.
All happening at the same time. We have the Dodgers versus the Yankees in the World Series, which I couldn't care less about baseball. It's my least favorite sport. You're not going to convince me otherwise. Don't try. But I like that it's this like New York versus LA kind of like East Coast, West Coast showdown type thing. So I thought it was cool.
I think it's so fun. I've noticed this week, which is crazy. So I always wear a Yankees cap. I have this green one I've been wearing a lot. I wear this white one all the time. And I wear it constantly in New York and LA. And this week in New York, I can't walk 2 feet without somebody being like, go Yankees, what's up? That's like yelling at me from across the street, catcalling me. This has never happened. I do look really hot this week. But
you look great. The hat looks great. Yeah.
Thank you. I think it is the World Series though. So people are very excited. The energy is high.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm a Phillies fan. I was upset when they, got knocked out and they weren't going to make it to the World Series. But it's just the sport I care the least about. Phillies, I mean, I'm going to root for the Dodgers, I guess. Reina's doing Yankees. She's wearing the merch. So, whoever wins, that's where we're going to live, I guess. This will determine which coast we live on.
Whatever team has better merch. I also have Dodgers hats. I have a great Dodgers sweatshirt. Like, I like the merch from both teams.
Yeah. And then in other New York sports news, the New York Liberty won its first championship, WNBA team, so its first championship ever. It sounds like they've had a rocky history. And I just love seeing this make headlines. You know, I think this has been the year where the WNBA blew up a lot. Not to say that people didn't love it and watch the sport before, of course, but it was just in the news a lot more, of course, with like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and all the incredible players. But this year it was more watched than ever before, and it's only gaining popularity, which I just love to see. I love to see these women get the recognition they deserve. And so it felt like this win was big. You know, I saw like Barack post about it. So I love to see them win the championship. And WNBA players at all women's sports are not compensated what they should be. Their salaries, they don't even compare to men's sports, but also they don't bring in the money that men's sports do. There is that, you know, you can't really, it's tough to even compare the numbers when it comes to the NBA and the WNBA. But I wanted to share this. I just like thought it was interesting that at the same time that like the championship is happening, like their union, the WNBA Players Union, announced Monday that the players will opt out of their current collective bargaining agreement with the league, and they're going to like renegotiate all this stuff. And like the worst case scenario is there's like a stoppage and they don't play for a while. Caitlin Clark was like speaking about that and like what that could mean, which would suck for everybody. But in July, the WNBA announced a new 11-year media rights deal featuring a partnership with Disney, Amazon Prime, and NBC Universal that is valued at about $2.2 billion or $200 million a year. And so they're just growing and getting more popular, and like the salaries need to keep up and the facilities and everything else. It's not just about salaries. So they're kind of like negotiating what this looks like going forward. And their current deal was just dated and not representative of the popularity of the sport. And so that's what's happening right now. They're trying to renegotiate this deal. So hopefully everyone will get paid more.
I love to hear it. And I love that like young women and girls can have more role models to look up to, because I think men have always been able to look up to athletes as like a thing to look to for discipline and good, clean fun, hobbies, things to lean into, and women not as much. So to like put them at the forefront, I love it. Not that women didn't have female role models in sports, of course they did, but I love that we're like uplifting them. We want to improve the facilities and the salaries and all that, so the women actually like want to do this more.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was Angel Reese recently came out and was like, I can't pay my bills on this. You know, I think her salary is like $73K a year. I mean, I know they get endorsement deals and things like that, but notoriously, they don't make the top someone makes salary-wise is like $300K in that range. So it really is pretty nuts. And the president of the WNBA Players Association said opting out of this deal isn't just about bigger paychecks. It's about claiming our rightful share of the business we've built, improving working conditions, and securing a future where the success we create benefits today's players and the generations to come. So anyway, that's what's going on. And hopefully they like figure this out and come to agreement. And this isn't some like writer strike of the WNBA where they can't play and they can't do their jobs, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
So,
all right.
that's the sports report.
Thanks for explaining it to me.
I probably fuck something up, but I'm trying, you guys. That's not really our forte. Okay, just going to take a quick break, and then we will get back into it. I'm going to tell you guys about Beam. We are all obsessed with this. Raina, me, Tessa. Tessa tried it maybe before we did. I was like, you guys, you got to get on this. So this is Beam's Dream Powder. It is a science-backed, healthy hot cocoa for sleep. This product has single-handedly changed the way that so many people sleep for the better. So I feel like I have a complicated relationship with sleep. You know, I just, especially with traveling a lot, even when I'm like at home in LA, I just have nights where I'm just like having more trouble falling asleep. And this is really something I love to do. And I'll tell you guys more about it. But our listeners get a special discount on Beam's Dream Powder, their science-backed, healthy hot cocoa for sleep with no added sugar. Better sleep has never tasted better. So you're going to have this powder. You're going to make your guilt-free, but very decadent hot cocoa. They have flavors like sea salt caramel, brownie batter, vanilla chai. I love the vanilla chai. And the Beam Dream Powder original flavor, cinnamon cocoa. The cinnamon cocoa is unbelievable. And this is just like an incredible thing you can do for yourself to treat yourself at night that's also going to help you go to sleep. Like I can't imagine anything better. Each serving is only 15 calories, 0 grams of sugar, and it's tested for a high quality efficacy, formulated to ease your body into rest, supporting all 4 stages of sleep to help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. So it's not like it's going to just kind of knock you right out and then keep you tossing and turning all night. Other sleep aids can cause next day grogginess, but Beam's Dream Powder contains a powerful all-natural blend of reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin and melatonin to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up refreshed. You just mix it into hot water or milk froth and enjoy before bed. I love to frost some milk. It's trusted by the world's top athletes and business professionals. It's no wonder Forbes and the New York Times are all talking about them. So if you want to try Beam's best-selling Dream Powder, get up to 40% off for a limited time when you go to shopbeam.com/GGE and use code GGE at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/GGE and use code GGE for up to 40% off.
Yes, and this show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Halloween lets us have fun with what scares us, but what about those fears that don't involve zombies and ghosts? They're spooky. Therapy is a great tool for facing your fears and finding ways to overcome them, because sometimes the scariest thing is not facing our fears in the first place and holding ourselves back. I mean, I just love this sentiment, and I've always said having the conversations that scare us are always the thing that like push me forward the most. I have the best outcomes from them, but it's really scary to do that. And therapy, it's something that Ashley and I both really believe in. It can help with all kinds of things: positive coping skills, setting boundaries, empowering you to just be a better version of yourself, whether it's in your romantic relationships, with your friends, with family. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It is entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire and get matched with a licensed therapist, and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Overcome your fears with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/GGE today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/GGE.
Okay. Sexiest Man Alive.
So People every year does Sexiest Man Alive. You can vote for it. The voting is closed now, but they have a list of people that were front runners, and we want to make our predictions.
Okay, so this comes from a BuzzFeed article, but it says here are some of the likely candidates for Sexiest Man Alive, as well as some suggestions from fans on X. So Manny Jacinto, I wasn't super familiar with him. He's super hot.
Yeah, he's sexy. I mean, the list is not really that big of a surprise. I'm a little bored with some of the people on the list. Like, okay. I think Robert Pattinson has like had his time. Like, let's uplift somebody else. I know
Thank
Glenn
you.
I'm done with it. And even like Jeremy Allen White, listen, he's Sexiest Man Aliving a little close to the sun for me. Like, I'm bored with it.
That's so funny. Raina's like, read me the list. And she's like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to already talk shit. I'm going to scoop you.
I'm talk shit on everybody. Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm into this, like, Manny Jacinto. And he is kind of like a newer name. Like, I'm looking at like Vogue Philippines posted something end of September, and it was like overnight the Filipino-Canadian actor was suddenly everywhere this summer. So you've seen him a lot. So we have him, Glenn Powell. I'll get
sick
to
of
it.
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of Glenn Powell.
Next on the list is Adam Brody. And I want to say something. I could be wrong. I feel like you're a Glenn Powell girly or an Adam Brody girly.
Oh.
I know you can be both, but I do think there's probably two camps of someone who prefers that
boyfriend.
Traditional, like, objectively hot Glenn Powell, and then Adam Brody, who's obviously so good looking, but like, I have never been a Glenn Powell girl. I get it. He's attractive. It goes without saying. He's like perfect body, but like, he's not for me. He has not ever been for me.
Doesn't thrill me. I'm bored with it. Adam Brody is my pick for number one. I think he's going to sweep this entire thing. I think the whole country is obsessed with Adam Brody. I think he's had a resurgence. I think people, of course, they love this story, if nobody wants this, of like a secure, healthy, communicative relationship. And he was that on the OC also. He just seemed like a solid guy that's not playing games with you. I think he's going to sweep the whole thing.
Yeah, and I think people love his relationship. He's married to Blair. I think people just really love him. But it's so funny because like everything's Glenn Powell. Like, I remember when I was going to watch Top Gun Maverick, which I think I just read something that Manny Jacinto got cut from that movie. I would have loved to see him in it. When I was about to watch Top Gun Maverick, my fiance was like, don't look at Glenn Powell. Like, we'll always joke if like something, we'll be like, don't look at that. Like, we'll say it even about our friends. I'll be like, don't look at Allison. Like, we'll just always like joke. And he was like, don't look at Glenn Powell. And I was like, he is the least of your worries. Miles Teller is in that movie. Miles Teller, John Hamm, Lawrence from Insecure, Jay Ellis. Like, that movie is so full of hot dudes. Like, he's the last on my list, that I care about. So I can't stress it enough. We are not. He's hot. He's blowing up. He's a superstar. But we're not Glenn Powell girlies over here.
He's a boring white guy. He's not even Jewish. Like what? There's nothing interesting about him.
I don't love his mouth. I like a big mouth. Someone recently said to me, like, you think he's hot? His mouth is huge. I'm like, that's the point. I like big lips. I like a big mouth, like a wide smile. Lips are huge for me. He's just got like regular white dude lips. It's not for me.
Yeah, it's not for me.
So, okay, Adam Brody, Jeremy Allen White's on the list. You mentioned that. Pedro Pascal. I mean, he's zaddy. He's got to be on the list.
I'm bored of it,
too. You feel like you're over it?
I feel like he's had his time in the sun, too. I feel like we've done this. Didn't he win last year or the year before or the last 4 years? I don't know. He is very sexy. But, like, I feel like he was the biggest deal in the world last year, and I'm done with it.
Okay.
Let's uplift some other people.
Okay, we have Bryan Tyree Henry, who is in the show Atlanta. So people are liking him, that's somebody new, somebody I feel like I haven't seen on these lists before. Jensen Ackles.
So I had to look him up. He is really sexy. Nothing that he's in has really stuck out to me. He was in Supernatural. He was in Smallville. Okay. He's more of like a TV actor, as far as I can tell. I mean, he was in Supernatural for 15 years.
This is a random list. It's like the biggest people, and then it's people who I'm like, why don't I know who that is? I have seen his name. Okay. And then the next guy, I did not know, but he really stuck out to me. Taylor Zakar Perez.
That's what I'm saying. Let's get some new faces in here. What a smoke.
It's the eyes for me. Yeah. And then Henry Cavill, who was mentioned on Love is Blind. Who said he looked like him?
Nick.
Nick, or was it?
Hannah's Nick said he looked like Henry Cavill. There's no similarity. I know that everybody dragged Chelsea last year for Megan Fox, but I do believe absolutely people have told Chelsea she looks like Megan Fox. No one has told this man he looks like Henry Cavill. That's insane.
Yeah, there's an E article, Why Love is Blind's Nick Dorca regrets comparing himself to Henry Cavill in the pods. He said he's walked it back. Oh, he said he was like a less buff Henry Cavill. Okay, and then we have Paul Mescal. You're probably bored by it.
I am bored. Huge fan. Bored.
Then we have Shabuzi, which I love.
Love it. I love to see new faces.
Fresh. I saw him live in like an intimate venue, so I feel like I can speak on it. I love his voice. I love his presence. He's got a great energy, so I love to see Shabuzi on here. Then Robert Pattinson.
Bleh.
Like you said, why are these still
bored of it?
Yeah, right.
Bored of it.
Then Andrew Garfield.
I do.
And
love
then finally Travis Kelce.
America's boyfriend. I mean, listen, I don't want to root for him so hard, but like, who could you love more? He's so delightful. He's like the most famous athlete alive, and he's so excited to just like be like an excited like little girl fan for his girlfriend. I love it. I love it so much. I love him.
Yeah. You were so into him before.
I was actually, I was OG Travis Kelce. A friend of ours repped him. And so I saw them in a picture together years ago, and I was like, who is that piece of meat? So I've been a longtime Travis Kelce fan. It broke my heart for a little bit when he got together with Taylor, because I guess we were going to date. And when I accepted it, I love it. I love him so much.
Then you started standing. So I have an unsexiest man alive while we're here, and that's going to be Patrick Mahomes for me. No one drives me up quicker than him, his voice, his vibe, his wife. I just can't. But good for him, you know.
I have two unmentions. So
too sexy.
Yes. That I didn't go through every single one of these, so both of them might have been on one of the lists. One of them is Cooper Koch. He played Eric Menendez in Netflix's Monsters. And there's a shower scene where he has a giant dick, and he has come forward saying, I did not wear a prosthetic penis for this. So
that's why.
So I'm like, what's up with him? And then my number one man in the world, Dave Bautista. I mean, people were sending me, if you guys don't know who that is, he's a wrestler. He was in Glass Onion. He's the love of my life. He rescues dogs. His mom's a lesbian. Everything about him. I'm obsessed with him. He lost a bunch of weight. Saying that it was like hard to get roles because he was so big, and people were like DMing me like, are you okay? And I'm like, I love Dave at any weight in the world. That's the love of my life. And if you go to his page right now, pinned to the top, the number one thing is he recorded this thing in a boxing ring calling Donald Trump a bitch, and it's so funny talking about how Donald Trump like has divided the country and he's bad for America. And
Oh my
you and
gosh.
it's incredible, and I really didn't.
You're just now telling me about this?
I didn't really see it for Dave Bautista. I didn't think he was going to come forward, and you and I can talk about it next week a little bit. But we've personally, between the two of us, have been talking about how we would love to see more men come forward and support Kamala. She has the female vote, minority votes, but straight white men is who Donald Trump really appeals to. And to see the straightest, whitest man, I mean, I guess he's not the whitest because he's half Asian.
But he's like a meathead.
Hyper-masculine man.
Yeah, hyper-masculine,
come forward for Kamala. I love to see it. I think that it is really masculine to stand up for somebody like Kamala. I think it's a beautiful thing. And if you guys go to his page, it's great. It's really well said, and that's the love of my life.
Okay, well, you mentioned big dick, so I'll throw my
Fiance.
Missing off the list is my fiance. No, I'll throw mine into the ring. Big dick Paul Walter.
Okay.
Let's bring him up for the second week in a row. And then I am going to go political and go with Jack Schlossberg, who I felt like I was seeing a lot around the DNC. I mean, so he's a writer and a political correspondent. I mean, he is a correspondent for Vogue. So I feel like that's where I saw him a lot during the Kamala nomination in the DNC. He's the only grandson of John F. Kennedy. But Raina,
He's gorgeous.
No, but here's the thing. We are probably distantly related. And I have not talked about this. I haven't even mentioned that I'm a Kennedy yet on this podcast. No, seriously, this is the hottest tea. No one even knows this. So his name is John Bouvier Kennedy Schlossberg, Jack. My grandma's maiden name was Bouvier. We are very much related to the Kennedys. My grandma was a Bouvier. Nice. And Jackie Kennedy Onassis Bouvier, that's her maiden name.
So your grandmother's cousin was Jackie O?
Not first cousin, but yes, in the lineage.
Okay, that's great. That's amazing. I did not know that I've been doing a podcast with a Kennedy all this time.
No, I'm basically, Jackie O is basically my grandma.
Wow, I never knew. The things you don't know about your friends.
So guys, even if I was single, I probably wouldn't fuck Jack Schlossberg because we're probably related. So those are mine. And then again, I mentioned Miles Teller before, but he's always my number one. He's probably my number one hall pass, but he's married. He's unavailable. And neither am I. Him. So, yeah. Okay, let's talk about Tell Me Lies.
I mean, one of the best finales we've ever seen. Season 2, end of it, just bomb after bomb. You were I had to stare at the ceiling for an hour.
No, I had my butthole clenched the whole time. I was so tense, and I really had to, take breaks.
Okay.
So, all the spoilers ahead. I had forgotten that Drew died, and we talked about this, but then Sparkle Eyes reminded me that they said that in the pilot, season 1, episode 1. They had mentioned it but I forgot. I just forgot. I forget so much stuff from a show I haven't watched in a while. So it made me want to throw up. When he was trying to shake him awake. Raina, I was having trouble even comprehending it. And then after that, it was just, like you said, bomb after bomb. I couldn't recover.
I mean, these show writers are so good at weaving these plot twists throughout season 1 and 2. And then there's all these cliffhangers in season 3. There's a couple of them where you're wait, they didn't wrap up that storyline. And the show writers are yeah, because it's for season 3. And it actually didn't hit me until I finished watching it, just how many bombs were dropped on this show. I mean, they wrapped up every storyline in such a profound way. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. I know. I mean, this was the episode where I feel I turned on Lucy, and I had supported her. I was a Lucy apologist. I was she's just under Steven's spell. He has her all fucked up. He's a monster. And then, I don't know, the whole stuff with Leo, I've loved Leo, and I'm an apologist for Leo too, but...
You are. I think you root for him to get better. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Oh my God, so funny. Laura just texted me. I have to tell you, I watched the last episode of Tell Me Lies last night. As we're talking about, I just got a text from one of my Raina's friend too. But so we were going to reference this article with Megan Oppenheimer, who's the showrunner, this Variety interview she did. And I do want to say this. She says, she's talking about the whole Lucy, Leo, Steven thing. And she said, my parents are going to be so proud when they hear the line, how does my cum taste? Grace Van Patten, Lucy, actually came up to me and said, so we're saying I have sex with Steven and then put on the same underwear. And then Grace is like, I think she did. It's something that drives through the panic attack she's having. Lucy isn't thinking clearly. She's running from her decision to sleep with Steven and looking for a safe place. It's heartbreaking, and I hope people don't hate her, but people are just really hard on women. So I read that, and I was like, okay, I don't want to just, like, hate this woman. I mean, these are fictional characters, too. But, like, I guess I just, you know, you and I went back and forth on, like, was her running back to Leo, like, was she faking it and manipulating it so she could get back with Leo and then throw him in Steven's face? And Megan Oppenheimer saying, no, that was genuine. She was just freaking out and really was like, I love you, I want to be with you. And then obviously she struggled with them having sex because she just had sex with Steven. And they said that scene was so hard to shoot. They said it was like a horror movie. And they used the very last take of like her face trying to like register, like, I just had sex with Steven, what am I supposed to do? So it does feel like it was like her just being so supremely fucked up and not trying to like ruin Leo's life. But when he like beats the living shit out of Steven and then he like comes to after blacking out and he's just like, I'm sorry. I'm just like, I hate all of this. It made me like so pissed at Lucy, you know, for like all like the orchestrating all of it, even though I guess it's like wasn't her intention. So anyway, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I think that I always thought that this was her sort of running to a safe place after doing something that made her feel unsafe. And I think we can all relate to being 19 years old and falling under the spell of somebody who's not good for us and giving up opportunities to be with people that are better for us, or maybe do things like go abroad or take a class. And that's really what the book is about, is how she just continues to give up every opportunity in her life to make better decisions in order to prioritize Steven. And I think that you can like really see it. And I think it's relatable because like I remember being 19 and these like really toxic boys and all these decisions you made when you're like, you know better.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I saw it as her just trying to run to a safe space and then being like, what in God's name am I doing? And that scene where he beats Steven up, I mean, it's so violent. It's crazy to watch.
I just, like, I think I got so upset because, like, I think Leo is this person who has had abuse and trauma growing up. He has this anger issue. He's trying to work on it. He knew Lucy was bad for him once. You know, like, after Thanksgiving, he wanted to break it off, and she lured him back in, and then Steven was able to provoke him, and who knows what's going to happen to him. I mean, he almost killed him. So it was just like, to watch Steven try to get that reaction out of him all season, knowing he had this anger issue, trying to provoke him, trying to get him to slap him, you know, all that stuff. It's like, and then he finally did it. And then when he laid there and like smiled, I was like, oh my, I felt like so angry at all of it. And like Lucy was in between it and like Leo was just collateral damage. And so I just like, I had such a problem with it, but we can move on from that scene and talk about like Bree and
well, he's one of the few characters I will say, you know, I don't really need to like somebody to enjoy the character and root for them. And I think Succession, Mad Men, The Sopranos, all three shows are anchored around terrible people, but you see good in them. And so you root for them. And Steven is somebody that you cannot root for. He's a terrible person. The other storylines that were really huge, I wish I would have called this earlier because I really had a feeling that the professors were in an open relationship and that that Marianne knew that Bree was having an affair with her husband. I wish I would have called it, but that did not surprise me, but I thought a fantastic way to wrap up that storyline. And Megan Oppenheimer has said that he will not be in the next season. So the person who's been calling Bree in this season from an unknown number is not him. She's confirmed.
Oliver. Also, I thought you were going to say Oliver, the actor that plays him, is Megan Oppenheimer, the showrunner's husband. A lot of people don't know that. So that's her husband. And yeah, so just to kind of jump ahead, the number that's been calling Bree, Megan Oppenheimer has said it's not Oliver and it's not Steven. So she's confirmed both of those fan theories. I gotta say, I did not think they were open. It's not surprising, but I hadn't had that thought like you had. But when like he was about to tell her what was going on, and he was about to tell her they were in an open relationship. My thought was like, open relationship is too easy. It's just too obvious of what she's about to say. And I was like, he's going to say that she's a lesbian and like this is some cover up for some odd reason. Not that you need to hide being gay ever, you know, especially in 2024. But like for some reason, the thought that went through my head was she's been hitting on Lucy all semester. Like she loves Lucy. And then of course she had that creepy remark to Lucy, like, too bad, or I'm glad he didn't meet you first, which was so fucking creepy. But I had this thing of like, she has a thing for Lucy, and then I was just like, yeah, I was wrong. But anyway,
well, what seems odd is that she barges in on them having sex together, and you would think that if they're in an open relationship, he would have been like, I'm at the house having sex, don't come here. Which is why your theory makes more sense of her being like, we don't have a sexual relationship. He's not telling me he's with you because he doesn't tell me he's with anybody.
Yeah. So there is that. So Diana turning on Steven, we love.
I never saw it coming. Exploded.
No.
I'm the emoji with the head exploding.
Yeah. I want to know what Diana was crying about in the library on Halloween. I can't really figure that out. That was like something because they made you think she was crying over something with Steven, but I can't remember the timing of that if she'd seen the pictures yet. But that was like one thing I keep thinking of. But I wanted to read you this thing, and I don't know if you read this from the article in Variety. So the question Megan Oppenheimer was asked is, how and when did you decide to have Diana turn on Steven? And she said, I hope no one saw that coming, which we didn't.
Shock of the century.
You're going to like this answer. She said, it's funny because we got green lit officially for season 2. Hulu called me and said they really wanted to give the green light, but wanted to make sure we had enough ideas. She said, so I had like 48 hours to bullshit some stuff. And that was one of the things I came up with, that Diana orchestrates this entire plot to get away from Steven. I think she begins in earnest in episode 4 when she finds Steven's photos of Macy. So that's when we are supposed to believe that she decides to turn on him, which I think that's what when we all thought back, we're like, probably when she found the photos, that's when the wheels started turning. And she says that's when she knows she has to get the fuck out of there. I just love that answer. That Hulu was like, hey, we really want to push this through, but we need some more ideas. And she's like, I don't fucking know. Okay, Diana's a sociopath too. Like, you know, it's just kind of funny.
I love that for the character, because you think to yourself, how could somebody so earnest, so honest be with somebody like him? And they make her diabolical. She's like, I'm not only going to break up with you, I'm going to try to ruin your life. I'm going to take my father away from you. I'm going to take these opportunities away from you that you've used me for. Like, I'm going to make you show me who you are. It was done so well.
So perfectly, yeah. Hi, bud. You want to come in and you want to
have a baby cameo?
Appearance? Yeah. Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Jay.
If you guys are watching on YouTube,
This is a
here's
snack
my
exclusive.
nephew. Yeah, this is a snack exclusive.
Hi, Jay.
What do you want to talk about?
Trash truck.
The trash truck. Yeah, he's got his trash truck shirt on.
Jay.
He likes. Do you want to go watch Danny Go?
Yeah.
Okay, he'll probably do that instead of tell me lies. You guys, he likes Danny Go.
That's his rack for the week.
Jay, who's that?
Raina.
Yeah,
Jay,
that's Aunt
you're
Raina.
so smart.
Yeah.
He can't hear me.
Booties.
Some birdies. Yeah. All right.
That was so cute.
Jay's first appearance on the snack.
To wrap this up, I do want to say I don't remember if it was you or Sparkle Eyes' hot take, but they wrap up the series with Steven sending Bree the voice note of Evan admitting that he cheated on her with Lucy. Mm-hmm. And I forget if it was you or him, but when you look back, people had flip phones and it was like the first Blackberries. Yeah. And so where were they recording this, and how did he convert it into a voice note?
It's so funny. It's so funny to think of the technology transitions, and that it's sent through as a voice note. So the only thing we were thinking of, there's a way he could have played it on a computer so it would have played as a voice note. You would have had to, if you saved that recording for 8 years, then you would have had to send it through as an audio file. Also, how did you record it on that flip phone? It was just very funny, but the fact that it came through as a voice note, it's like, how did he do this? And I was in some TikTok holes about this, and I liked seeing what people were saying. And some people said they thought he was going to play that on the PA system at the wedding.
Same.
That's crazy. You thought that too? Crazy.
Well, because he says, Evan says, you're not going to tell Bree about this, and he says, not today. Mm-hmm. And so you're like, okay, obviously he tells them at the wedding, but yeah, I thought he was going to play it on the loudspeaker.
Yeah.
I love how they wrapped it all up. I love how they wrapped up why Lydia hates Lucy. I mean, every storyline was so perfectly tied up, and then they still left cliffhangers.
Yeah, someone zoomed in on the phone. Bree and Steven had been texting, and the texts say, like, rehearsal dinner tonight, 8 p.m., and he's like, I'll be there, which is just weird. I don't know. I don't know if that's like if it's some editing mistake, why would it be? But, like, why would they be texting like that? Like, I do think it's a little bit of a sign or like a red herring we're supposed to look at. I don't know. You know, my one beef with the show is I think the time gap is too wide. I think 08 to 2015 is crazy. I think it's like you really do kind of lose touch with people from college in that long of a time period, and it's fine. I'm sure there's a reason for it, but I guess I just feel like it would all feel a little more realistic if it was like 4 years. But I don't know. That's what they chose to do. But I always feel like 08 to 2015 is like such this huge jump for all these things to still be going on with all these people. Like all these connections still to be so strong. And then like, when did Bree and Evan get back together? Did they date for 7 years before getting engaged? You know, like, I don't know. So
I'm with you.
That's my one beef.
I'm with you.
I love the show.
I encourage people to read the book. The timeline, a little tighter. I think that they're 25 when they get married. I love it. It's a perfect show. If you guys haven't watched it, watch it. Read the book. Great book.
Okay.
All right, I'm telling you guys about Shopify. And, you know, when we started podcasting, I had already had one store with Shopify. Actually, it's the very first conversation I ever had with Ashley, and she was talking to me about selling merch. Ashley and I have anchored so much of our business around Shopify. We sell our Girls Gotta Eat merch, and we run our whole Vibes Only store on it. And we just both have so many great things to say about it. Shopify is a global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. So whether you're at the launch your online shop stage, you're a real life store stage, or if you have millions of orders, they're there to help. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the US. So it's huge. It's fantastically easy to use. They have tons of reports. They make it really simple. There's tons of plugins, and it helps turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, up to 36% better compared to other leading e-commerce platforms. The reporting is fantastic. It really is just like this breakthrough moment when you're like, I've reached this next level, and you can realize that through how fantastic the reporting is. And it really gives you everything you need to take control of your business and take it to the next level. And when Ashley and I are able to log in on our phones or on our computer and see really every single metric of our business, what items are selling the most, which days we sell the most, which times of day we sell the most, what converts. I mean, it's just a really special moment. So we can't recommend it enough. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/GGE. All lowercase. Go to shopify.com/GGE now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/GGE.
Okay. We'll just do a quick Love is Blind update. We talk about every week, but Tyler, who had these children who he said he just donated sperm to help a lesbian couple have kids, the mother has come out. And did you read all this?
Just a brief synopsis. So I know that he had donated for the first child, and then they got together. They were a couple, and they conceived twins naturally.
Yeah. So he did just help her to have the first child with her female partner. She's basically saying, like, I've been a lesbian my whole life. This was a little strange to me, too, that it happened this way. But so he was, like, essentially a sperm donor for the first kid. And then, again, like you said, they got together. They were having a sexual relationship. And then they had 2 more kids. And he was, like, the dad of these kids.
Like, he's on the birth certificate, she said. That, like, this is their father.
Yes. So it's just so crazy. Like, it's like deranged to, like, lie about that. And you know, tell Ashley, like, yeah, I don't think they know what I look like. Or, you know, you could tell that was a lie in the moment. I was like, oh, he fumbled that. You know, like, he's trying to think of how to lie his way out of this when he is like, it's just such a shame for these children, for this mother. I mean, geez. So that's even crazier than I thought, because it's like the sperm baby lie was not a complete lie. It was like somewhere in the middle. It's just like, it's a hybrid story that he's just, I don't know. I was crazy reading that.
I mean, my prediction, so there's 3 couples, I think, that are going to the altar. You're actually not really sure about Ramses and Marissa. They have this kind of like cryptic conversation in the end of the last episode. This will be a little dated by this time this comes out. Yeah. But yeah, this season of Love is Blind is like everything is aired after the fact. You don't get to see any of the main situations. I think Garrett and Olivia Munn get married, stay married. I think Tyler and Ashley, I don't know, it's a wild card for me. I do not think they're still together if they did get married.
Oof. All right.
And Ramses and Marissa, I don't know. I think he says no.
Yeah, I'm with you on those predictions. And we just want to recommend a few quick comedy specials. It just feels like there's a lot coming out. People who have been on our show before. So Michael Blaustein, who we love, he has been on our show with his co-host on his podcast, Stiff Socks, Trevor Wallace, and they were amazing. They're going to be coming back on. He dropped his special on YouTube called Silly Goose. You guys can check that out. It's hilarious. He's hilarious. I could like lay in bed and watch his clips. He's just like so funny, and I love his crowd work and his comedy all around. And then Heather McMahon dropped her special Breadwinner. She was on the podcast back in June. So we love it so much. She's one of my favorite storytellers. She filmed it at the Fox Theater in Atlanta, which is one of my favorite theaters. And, I used to live in Atlanta, and so we love that aspect of it too. So Heather McMahon, Breadwinner, Ali Wong. I haven't watched this yet.
I loved it. I watched it twice. It's fantastic.
Need to get caught up. So we've been traveling doing stuff. So Ali Wong has a special called Single Lady, and this is all about her life now as a single lady and Raina dating stories and all kinds of stuff like that. Is that kind of the gist?
Yeah, it's post-divorce. It's really, I really haven't seen somebody speak so honestly about just like what life is like after you've had 2 kids and you're very publicly getting divorced, and she's just dating again, and it's great.
And so those are comedy specials we're recommending for you guys. 3 recs, you guys. I love all of them. Sweet Bobby on Netflix. Sweet Bobby was a podcast about a catfishing situation. This woman, Kira, she's Indian and she lives in London. It's a fascinating catfish situation, and they made it into a movie on Netflix. It's sort of a documentary. It is a documentary style, but the podcast is about 8 or 9 episodes. I hung on to every single word. It was so fantastic. And I like that they made a short version on Netflix. So it's a fantastic hour and a half watch. I watched it last night. Great story. And then I have 2 books to rec. One's called Blue Sisters. It's about 4 sisters growing up in New York City. One of them passes away. And then the other 3 are kind of dealing with it. That's by Coco Mellers. And then I want to rec a cookbook because our really good friend, Salt Hank, he is a great food account for years. Just a good friend of ours. He put out his first cookbook. It's called 5 Napkins Situation. It's phenomenal. Beautiful photos. It's really just unbelievable. I'm so proud of him. So it's a great gift for the holidays too. Yeah, I love his cookbook. It's so beautiful. The recipes are incredible. And we went to this little event for him, and he was talking about all his favorite recipes in the book. And so, I'm excited for someone else to make those for me. So.
Exactly. So great book to support, great person to support. So all these are amazing recs, you guys. Big week of watching TV.
Okay, well, hope you guys enjoyed it, and you know where to get tickets to our tour. We will see you this weekend in Portland and Philly for the Halloween shows. We cannot wait to see you. You can still grab tickets at girlsgottaeat.com. We are Girls Gotta Eat podcast on Instagram and TikTok. I'm Ash Hess. Raina is Raina.Greenberg. Subscribe on YouTube. Share this episode with a friend, and we will see you Monday.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Bye.
Bye.